Welcome to the Simply Business Club podcast, the podcast that is simply conversational. We'll talk to members of the club, find out about their business and how Simply Business Club supports them. Simply Business Club, the rising tide that lifts all boats.
Hello and welcome back to the Simply Business Club podcast. I am, of course, with our wonderful leader,
Hello.
John. And today we are joined by Ben Bryant from your video team.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
So, Ben, we're just going to get stuck straight in with this one. I am not weirded out at all by this at all.
Why would you be weirded out?
My words are proper jumbled with you, and I don't know why. So,
All
Ben,
weak at the knees, yeah?
I've gone all weak at the knees. Yeah, I want to throttle him. So, Ben, tell us about you and your video team.
Okay, I'll tell you about me and your video team. So I'm Ben. I run a company called Your Video Team, and I run it alongside my wife, who is Rachael.
Hey.
We've been going for a couple of years. We did used to work in the events industry, so I used to do things like weddings, all stuff like that. And we moved into corporate work when COVID came about. As everyone knows, when it came to the wedding industry, it totally stopped. But conveniently, I met people like Coca-Cola and SigCup, and some cybersecurity companies who still had to work on site, and they had to become COVID safe. So from events that I had done in the past, they asked if I can do any sort of videos as well, and if I can help them with training videos for making their factories COVID safe or their workplaces COVID safe. From that, I thought, yeah, this is quite cool. I don't mind working with businesses. They understand that I can get on with my work and do it well. They pay you the money that you're worth, and they're relatively easy to work with.
Amazing. So from that, obviously, your video team was born. What do you do? What is involved in your video team?
So your video team help businesses make a video presence, whether they're looking at in-house with training video content, or if they're looking to create a social media experience for people to be seen, and help them grow, help answer questions in an easy to consume way. Other than that, we help with, well, things like this. So we're actually the people who are filming this podcast and recording this podcast. So if there's anyone who's looking to put their sales out in a different kind of media, a podcast is a great way to do it.
Wonderful way to plug what you do. This is a cracking podcast, isn't it?
It's just a sales podcast. Isn't
I've got to say,
it?
I've been here and I've listened to, I think, four, maybe 5 episodes so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got to say, this is a pretty good podcast. Sound quality is good. There is video quality, and that is good. And the hosts aren't too bad either.
It's very kind of you. Yeah. Very kind of you.
I'm just going to put out there as well, when you said we've been going for a couple of years, your video team, you and I have been around ages.
Yeah, you and I have been around for ages. Yeah, your video team, we rebranded from it being Ben Bryant Film and Photography to Your Video Team. One, because I want it to be a corporate-to-corporate thing. Ben Bryant Film and Photography is very personable, which works on a wedding setting, working with weddings, because brides and grooms want to know who's shooting their wedding. Yeah. But coming into the corporate world, it can't just be me doing everything. At the moment, it feels like I am doing everything, but that's one reason why I brought you on board.
Oh, okay.
To help with meeting people and interacting with people, getting the initial their story with us started, our partners in video content. But yeah, so I wanted it to be something that would symbolise what we do and who we're doing it for. And to be honest, I think that our name says that pretty well.
Well, it does indeed.
It's a bit like Ron Seal, isn't it? Like,
does exactly
what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
So I think the hardest thing is when we go to people, so what do you think of your video team? And they're like, my video team. And we're like, no, your video team. And they're like, yeah, my video team. We're like, oh, you can't even say our name when you're talking about us.
You can. I think we've got one of those little earwig kind of things. Like when people say your video team, I think we're at the point now where people are like, that's Ben and Rachael, that is. That's them.
100%.
So along those lines then, where is your video team going? Where is the future? What do you see it as?
Where do I see your video team going? Well, obviously it's corporate work that we're doing at the moment, and that's what I think is going to be our bread and butter. I want to start incorporating a team, a lot more of a team, so start bringing in editors, other videographers, producers, script writers, a whole range of people. We've got a lot of people in my network, or in our network actually, Simply Business Club and things like that. It's on the up. Is the only way we can go now. We've had downs and things like that, and we've had the right people to support us to get us through those. But now I can only see it going in one direction. And yeah, hopefully, I have dreams of creating like a full-blown movie. Whether I get to do it, I don't know. But I think
Can I be in it?
Oh yeah, you can be an extra in the background.
Oh, thanks, mate. I feel upset now.
But yeah, these are. I think what for me is I want to set these goals. Yes, but the journey's the bit that's really enjoyable. Trying to get there, I think, is part of the main narrative of the story.
So setting aside the business aspect, how did you get into videos, that side of things?
Into videos. Well, okay then.
Well, okay.
I feel
how
like
did you get into photography and then videos? I know the story, but
you do know the story.
How do you know the story, Rachel?
me? Or you're just been around it this long?
We'll start the story from the beginning. I've always liked art, but leaving school, I very much fell out of love with it. And then I fell in love with Rachel, who we decided to get married one day.
Fair trade, I'd say.
I think it's fair.
Well, that was a few years later after I left school. But yeah, we got married back in 2011, and we travelled to Australia. And on the way back from Australia, because this is going to sound weird on our honeymoon, we were with your parents, and I played with your mum's camera a fair bit.
Just read that sentence off.
Yeah. But so on the way back, we thought, oh no, I'm going to buy Rachel a camera, with the full intention of not letting her look at or use the camera. So bought that on the way back. I learned how to do photography, taught myself through the University of YouTube how to do photography, and then I thought, as I was doing that, our son was born late 2012, and I think it was within 3 days I took over 1,000 photos of him.
Oh my God. Most of them in the delivery room.
Most of them in delivery, yeah.
Oh, I bet you love that.
Oh, it's really fun.
Interesting angles.
There's angles I've never seen of myself.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, and probably early 2013, my sister-in-law was like, have you ever thought about doing it as a job? I was like, I can't do this as a job. Falling back in love with the art of stuff through lessons and stuff, I was like, it'd be interesting to find out if you can.
So question, what were you doing at the time?
I was, for a job?
At that point, yeah.
I was working in Pizza Hut as a shift manager.
And
So
full-time dad.
Oh yeah,
You
I
were
was
a full-time dad.
full-time dad. I was
You
I wasn't even
part-time.
a shift manager then. I went back, didn't I?
He was a part-time.
Yeah, I was part-time manager, part-time kitchen staff at Pizza Hut.
So you, to a certain extent, you were sort of floating, not really having.
I had no kind of like aspirations at that point.
Yeah.
Not really. And I think when that question arose, I thought it kind of niggled a bit. And I was like, yeah, maybe I can. I do it like part-time. It's a hobby thing. I really enjoy the art of it. And then by the end of 2013, I shot my first wedding, which was really scary. It turns out you think, oh no, I'll do a wedding. It's going to be nice and easy, very little stress. It's actually really stressful because you only get one chance.
I can imagine the pressure is horrendous because my wedding, the photographer at our wedding, sadly I didn't know you because he was abysmal. And even like the big picture, because there was a lot of people at our wedding, we had about 150, 200 people or something like that. And he cut them off.
Oh, God.
And it's like, seriously, yeah. So we've got, as you say, the pressure of that. It's like that you've got one go. It's like you don't get. It's like you can't just like
First kiss the third time round.
Can we go again?
Yeah,
It's like,
and you say about the first kiss, I've had to do it. I'll be like, I'll be honest, guys, you rushed that kiss,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's this quick peck, and you're like, oh no. So I've said it. I was like, can we do that again?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that's a moment missed. A moment that you think, oh, they're going to remember this. They're going to remember me interrupting and going, do the kiss. They don't. They really appreciate the fact
they'll
that you've got the
appreciate
photo.
it because if you've missed it, you can't recreate it once the day is over. You can recreate it 5 seconds later.
Well, it's not. It was never about going, oh, I missed that. Can you do it again? You're not that blatant about it. You go,
No.
oh, lovely. And again, guys,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Hold it.
how just sell
Of course.
it.
You can
Hold
have some
it.
time. Hold the kiss.
Yeah.
Go again. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and I think, so then I started doing that, trying to push into the wedding field, and as we said, COVID came along, and I think for us it came along at
You'd
the
been
right
doing
time.
videography. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had started filming weddings by that
Filming
point
weddings
as well.
in around about 2016, so 3 years or so after starting photography, I started videoing weddings. So I was like, oh, there's a bit of space in the market for this. I've got the equipment to do it. Turned out I didn't have the equipment. I had to spend a load of money again. So yeah, and then 2020 COVID comes around, and I think it came at the right time because I didn't think I needed a new challenge, but I most definitely did. I started stagnating, kind of probably got a bit lazy on the wedding side of it because I was doing it too much.
Right.
But getting into the because everyone says a wedding's unique,
I was just about to say that.
and the one thing it isn't is unique. I could tell you the timings of a wedding. If you tell me what time you're getting married, I can tell you beforehand and afterhand what you're doing and when.
Yeah.
Because bride and grooms don't really have that much decisions to make.
No.
It's the venues that they're doing it, and they
Yeah,
all kind
yeah.
of keep the same routine.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I think weddings just became, it's too, I don't want to say easy, but
It wasn't
predictable.
challenging.
Yeah, it wasn't the challenge that I was after anymore. And then we moved into corporate world through COVID, and every business is different.
Yeah.
Even if it's the same industry, it's still different. It's run differently, or the message is different. People are niching down on their target audience. It's not about just going, I'm here for everyone and this is my generic business.
Yeah, of course.
It's being specific, and your specific is different every person that you meet.
And even in one company, that specific can change because there's a different product, a different service, or, you know, their message is changing. So ultimately, you've got to change a message you filmed 3 months ago, 3 years ago, to an entirely different thing again now.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah, even in my own business, I can say there's probably 3 or 4 different niches that I would go for. There's podcasts for one, there's training content, social media content, and all stuff like that.
Did you just hit the mic?
I
there?
did just hit the mic. I told you I'm going to be a hypocrite. The amount of,
Own worst client, right there.
I'm leaning into the microphone when I was telling everyone, don't lean in.
I just wanted to highlight the fact that you're doing exactly what you told everyone not to do. So.
Just need him to tap on the table next to me. That's it. And you're done. Cough or yawn, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I suppose, you know, like I say, I've got this advantage. I do know a bit more, but also I think of your wedding clients, you've probably only done 2 or 3 of them, like you then did a baby shoot for them.
Yeah,
or a
very
family
rarely
function.
do I do a second wedding for the same people.
That wasn't the first one.
I mean, you could do in.
If you hire me for your third, it's free.
Oh, buy one, get one.
I was thinking more along the lines of like, so in 5 years, I'll have been married 25 years, so we're thinking there's a possibility we might renew our vows or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's always that possibility, but it's a bit of a long wait, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very rare you'll find a photographer who's doing weddings 25 years or family
Yeah.
events 25 years after your wedding day.
Yeah, yeah,
You do get it, but it's very, very rare
yeah.
indeed. I might do a wedding again, but it'll have to be a very worthwhile wedding to do.
You can do my one in 5 years if you want.
There you go.
Yeah, where is it?
Probably in Ramsgate.
And if it's not Turkey, Mexico, or
Well,
I was
the
gonna say, you did
Caribbean.
do a wedding last year for friends, but we did have to fly out to Mexico.
Yeah.
it?
our honeymoon was in Mexico, so I get that.
I won't
That's
film a
that's fair.
honeymoon.
No, you wouldn't be welcome.
Amazing. So I mean, yeah, there's a hell of a story behind it and how it came about, and you've got the dreams ahead. What are you up to right now? What's other than podcasting?
This week, heck of a lot. I'm out filming most days at the moment, which is great. But then I know there's a time that I've got to sit there and edit it all. So I think pretty much after this week, it's going to start actively looking at the next person in the business.
Okay.
Whether that's helping you with your side of customer facing, or most likely going to be my side, no offence, but you're too good at what you do. But yeah, it's probably looking at getting an editor in to start, because it's great that we're busy, but I don't want the busy to become bad service, because we pride on ourselves providing quality work and a quality service.
Sure.
So obviously, like you say, I kind of do the front facing side of things with that. You started SBC networking, as in you started attending, and very quickly I took over. And we've now been members with you, John.
About a year, isn't it?
Yeah, just over
Yeah.
a year.
Over a
A
year.
year
And then we
last
kind
week.
of took
Was it
over with
was it
you.
last week?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, it was really exciting when you guys came along, and it was straight away. It just clicked, didn't it? It was that. I could see the support that you wanted to give to other people, as well as you were quite open about needing some support yourselves, and it was. I felt it was a great match, and it was wonderful having you guys along. And when you said you wanted to join, it was like, yes, get in, because you want them sort of people to join. And it's like, so when you see certain people come along and they don't join, it's like, that's a bit you could see that working, or so yeah, I was really pleased when you guys joined.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I think for me, part of the SBC is the support that you get. Like, not being funny, 2023 was the hardest year for me in business. Things that we thought would work definitely didn't work, and it was a massive learning curve. There was people like you, people in the SBC who I'd sit there and talk to on a Friday morning, and actually air off to them and talk to people who have been through the journey that I've gone through already. And yeah, you could talk to a business coach and stuff like that, but sometimes they kind of fluff what you need to hear or what you want to hear, where you go, or they'll go, oh, just do this. And I was like, well, I've been trying to just do this and just do that, and it's not worked. Or you get other people who are just like, yeah, I've gone through the same. It's just about tapping it away, little changes, and
have you tried this, or have you considered this? And all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I haven't. And then it's like you try something like that, and then all of a sudden it revolutionizes what you're thinking, and it's like, it's like that little spark of something that a business coach may give you that, but it's what you're looking for is feet on the ground. You want people who are in the middle of it, not people who are going to sort of, because a business coach won't judge you, but they will at the same time, because they're wanting you to get to there, and they're not sort of appreciating really the situation you are now. Yeah, it's like, appreciate the fact that I'm making errors, and let's fix the fact that I'm making them errors and find a way to improve on them.
Yeah, and I think like a business coach in my field of videos and that is great for what worked for them in there and when they were doing my industry. But I think sometimes what's needed is that really random thing that I'm trying to think of, the printer and copier Ian done. That random thing, which wouldn't necessarily be thought of in my industry, and going, sure, that could work. Yeah. Or what's Michelle? What does she do?
Pest control.
Pest control, that's it. I had environmental in my head, and I was like, I don't know what the word, but
it's because she's MP environment. But
plug
her as well. But
there you go.
But someone who's in pest control, they might come up with a really random thing, which might sound like it wouldn't work, but actually could. Yeah. Like creating systems and stuff. These sort of systems can work across the board, not just in your one. I think I use it as like a little board of directors. If I'm struggling with something or an idea that Rachel and I were just falling out about because we can't go this way or that way, coming to you and going, this is what we're thinking, and they'll go, oh, we agree with Rachel or we agree with Ben.
Oh. We always agreed with Rachel.
Yeah, because everyone's scared of her.
Shut up. But that's it. Like, I mean, you've touched on what my point was going to be as well, was that, there are a number of small businesses, or it's not even small businesses, it's people working from home, so feeling lonely and isolated, and sometimes you just need to air off or talk, and that the club enables us to kind of go, oh, I need to just, and actually I might not get a resolution, but I just feel better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, it's like we've talked about several times, exactly that. People working from home, people needing just people. Yeah. And just having that, and we've talked about, as directors of SBC, we've talked about the fact that we might on a Friday just leave the doors open. And just have the meeting in the morning, and then just leave the doors open to the Zoom. People can pop in whenever they want for Friday mornings.
I think that would be a major benefit to people, just to be able to, especially on like a Friday, if it's just there, and people can go, oh, this is what happened this week. Yeah. or they can just be like, how can I close my business off for this week to know I don't have to do it, and just go, does this sound all good?
Yeah.
Does this sound all right?
Yeah.
I think things like that would be an incredible thing to have as part of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the other thing as well. It's like, obviously we've come on board in the last year, and very quickly we've kind of got involved in the club, and then throw on top of that now, like you say, we're directors in the club as well. So we've kind of, we want to be involved because actually we can see how good and supportive the Simply Business Club can be for businesses. And so but you listen to the members as well, is listening to them and saying, what do you want from the club?
Like I said a few minutes ago, I wasn't lying. It was very much, when you guys came on board, it was very much like, I can see these guys being really useful to the club, not just from the point of view that hopefully it'll work for you, because hopefully it has, and hopefully it will continue to do so, but actually that you will give value to the others. And that's why when we spoke about it a couple of months ago, it was like, do you guys want to be directors? Because I can see there being the opportunity to do a podcast, the opportunity to have video within what we do, but also what you can bring to the top table, and actually we can discuss and move forward and everything else. It's you're very good at that, and it's
I think I started my business because I wanted to help other people succeed. So giving my 10 cents into a conversation, I think whether somebody takes it or not, but I feel like I need to say some of the stuff that I say because I have been through business. Media, videos and photography aren't the only businesses that I run. I've done cleaning agency, I've done events companies with Rachel as well. And we've got stories to share and information to share, which I think will help people in the long run. If they don't take it there, no, we're going to somebody, this is what didn't work for us, is more important than going, you can do it.
It's like a few months ago, we had a cleaner in the room and you were talking to them about getting their journey started, and you were giving them tips and advice on what to do, maybe some of the chemicals to use, or maybe what to not use, and all of that. And I don't know whether they took on all that advice, but at the end of the day, it was great to hear. So you were straight away, you were like, right, you're starting a business, here you go, have some advice, have
the information that may help you in the future. And if it doesn't, they can always come back to me and go, it didn't work. But I don't think,
thanks, Ben.
I don't think many people have done that to me.
I don't think we begrudge any failings that we've ever had, and we've had a few along the way. They might have been hard to live at that time, but Ben's very good. I can wallow for a period of time and really sulk in it, but you'll have your moment, and then you'll kind of, your role is then to really drag me out of my pit and kind of go, right, Rach, okay, what did we learn from that? What did we do? And you're very good at that. And
as long as there's a learning in it, then it's worthwhile. If no learnings have been made, then you're just wasting your time and hoping for something to change which you can't control, and that's not worthwhile doing. Look at the mistakes. Look where you made the mistakes, and then try and fix them.
Right. Well, thank you very much. I feel like this has very much been a very conversational.
It has, hasn't it?
Wonderful. I got stuck into that one. Sorry, Ben.
Who was he interviewing?
Who was that? Who was? Yeah. What? So who?
Rachel interviewing herself.
I was about to say, who can they get in touch with? How can they get in touch with you, Ben?
Okay, so our website is www.yourvideoteam.co.uk. If you want to get in touch with me, don't bother. Contact Rachel. You can email account manager at Your Video Team. You can email me if you really want to. It's Ben at Your Video Team. But I think one of the best places to get in touch with us is on LinkedIn. So Ben Bryant, Rachel Bryant, or just look up Your Video Team on LinkedIn. We're there to help people and help businesses grow. So making you the hero of your brand.
Oh, he did it. Well done, good boy.
You can also, if you are struggling to find, which obviously you should be able to find it all, but if you can... if you are struggling, then obviously it's all on the SBC website as well.
So
all on the SBC website.
I've only just remembered
the Simply Business Club website.
Oh, that's the other thing,
simplybusinessclub.co.uk.
There you go. Fabulous. Thank you very much, gents. I feel like it's been a great conversation. Thank you, Ben, for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, John, again for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks, everyone else.
I'll be back soon. Bye.
Cheers. Thank you.
Now you want back on.
Thank you for listening to the Simply Business Club podcast. Keeping business simply conversational. Simply Business Club, supporting business growth and sharing knowledge. Join us to get involved. See you in the next episode. This podcast is a Your Video Team production. To start your podcast, contact Your Video Team now.